Welcome to Aging Insights. I'm Melissa Chonker, Executive Director of the New Jersey Foundation for Aging. The Foundation's mission is to enable seniors to live with independence and dignity in their communities. Aging Insights is produced by the New Jersey Foundation for Aging to provide information and resources to boomers, seniors, and caregivers. Utilities are something we rely on when we need our lights to see, heat in the winter, safe drinking water, cooling off in the summer, and of course the entertainment of our televisions and computers. Joining me today to give us some information on how New Jersey residents can keep their utilities running and get assistance if needed are Gregory Seitz, Manager of Customer Service at New Jersey Natural Gas, and Nicole Aubrey, Supervisor of Credit and Collections at South Jersey Gas. So thank you both for joining me today. I'm really glad that we can share this information with our viewers about how to keep all their stuff running and if they need assistance, where they can get it. So one of the ways that we came about this conversation in the first place was through the Utility Assistance Work Group. And Greg, could you maybe just explain to us what that is?
Yeah, we have the New Jersey Utility Energy Outreach Group, which is members of all 7 of the investor-owned utilities. New Jersey Natural Gas, South Jersey Gas, Atlantic City Electric, PSE&G, Elizabethtown Gas, JCP&L, and Rockland Electric. And we also have a member from the DCA, Department of Community Affairs, that handles the LIHEAP and the USF programs for the state.
And so what's the purpose of all of these individuals getting together from these various organizations?
Well, we're trying to get the word out more than anything else about energy assistance in a common voice. We're looking to find the people who assist other customers and let them know about the different programs that are available throughout the state. We've met with the Department of Community Affairs. We've met with the Department of Labor and Workforce Development, and DHS, Department of Health and Human Services, and the Department of Aging. Right. So we've done that, and we also have actually held some summits for other agencies that did not know about the programs that are available in New Jersey. We've had 2 summits in the last year with over 350 people there at the summits, teaching them about it. We actually have facilitated having energy assistance information on the Wheels on Meals for the state twice this year so far, and we're looking for in the spring too. So those are the type of things that we're doing.
Right. So it's really about connecting and making sure that people in the community know about the assistance that's available if they're having trouble paying their utilities.
Absolutely.
Right? So people might be surprised to know that their utility company, that at least someone there cares about whether or not they can afford to pay their expenses. But I'm glad that you're here today to let them know that and to talk a little bit more about what those programs are. I wanted to start with, the basics before we get into all the community programs that are available, the basics of what someone should expect if they fall behind on their bill or if they notice they're having trouble. Should they reach out to their utility company first?
Absolutely. We strongly recommend that because all the customer service reps in the utilities know about the programs, can help guide a customer to the right program or to the right agency to get assistance, and to also make arrangements on their past due amounts so that we don't have to interrupt service. That's the last thing the utility wants to do.
Right. You want to make sure everyone has all of their necessities that they need their power or gas for, and so that idea that there are payment plan options, and then also the further thing that the staff there is going to connect people to further assistance if they need it.
Absolutely. Yep.
Wonderful. That's all wonderful things to know. And so, we want our audience to know not to be afraid to pick up the phone and call your utility company and say, I'm having this difficulty, right? And so speaking of other assistance and what government or community programs are there, Nicole, I believe you're going to tell us a little bit about some of these programs. And we know that they all come with these fancy acronyms, right? Then we have to then remember and figure out what they all mean. But we talked, off air about programs like LIHEAP and USF and PAGE. And so if you could maybe explain each of those to us to start.
Sure, I'll start with LIHEAP. That's the most common program out there, and what that is the Low Income Energy Assistance Program. So, and it's administered by the state of New Jersey, Department of Community Affairs, and it helps New Jersey households pay for their heating costs and or cooling costs in the summertime. So, renters are eligible, homeowners are eligible, and it's all based by income and household size. So, this is for our low income customers. So, it's usually around the lower end of the income guidelines. And then, you know, in order to, you have different agencies out there that you can fill out the application in person. You can also go online, and when you go online, New Jersey.gov, DCA, or you can call. The phone number that you can call to get in touch with someone is 1-800-510-3102. And we also, like Greg said, one of the things that the utility companies in the state of New Jersey is very adamant about is we also are out there in the community and helping customers and getting them in contact with the agencies. Or you can just call your gas company, whoever you get your gas bill through, we'll get you in touch with these people.
So there are a couple of avenues to getting to LIHEAP, which is good because the more ways people can get to assistance, the better. But they do have to fill out an application that's going to ask them to verify their income and those sort of things, correct?
It asks them for the supporting documentation, which is their income, if they have a mortgage, their mortgage paperwork, or their lease if they're renting. Also, we'll ask them for all income verification for everyone that's 18 years or older. And if someone is over 18 and not working, then they would have to fill out that form also. Social Security and documentation for everyone in the household. But then there's also another low income program is Universal Service Fund, which is called USF. Again, usually that's one application, the same application you fill out for LIHEAP is usually the same application you can fill out for USF. And again, the same ways you get that application is the same ways you get the LIHEAP application.
And what is the primary difference between those two? Is it the who's eligible? Is that what the difference is?
Eligibility is one, and from my history and from what I'm seeing, USF goes more towards the electric company. The electric company get more of those funds as opposed to the gas company.
So if you're having trouble paying your gas bill, then LIHEAP would cover that, whereas USF is mostly for electric.
Yes, LIHEAP is usually for heating or cooling.
Okay. That makes sense and makes it simple and easy to understand. And then lastly, is this PAGE program as well?
Right. So there is a PAGE program, and that's for customers that's a little higher than a low income. It's a moderate income guidelines. And with the PAGE, it stands for Payment Assistance for Gas and Electric. So that is actually, it's a state-funded program, and it's, like I said, it's designed to assist moderate income families. It's usually depending on the circumstances. The grant is usually up to like it says $1,500, but it all depends on the circumstances of your bills.
Right. Yeah. It's not going to be that if that's not how much
you
owe, right?
Right.
It's just going to give you that out of the kindness of their hearts.
So also the PAGE program, there's different ways again to apply. You can apply online. You can apply they do have agencies within the area to help you with an application, or you can actually call. New Jersey 211 is always a great source for any of these programs, and actually have links and phone numbers to all the programs.
So for viewers who might not know, 211 is a service where you can get social service and other community information. And so for any of these programs, if you don't remember the name of them or where to call, specifically for those, if you call 211, they can direct you in the right place, which is all good to know. Or call your utility company.
Call your utility company. We always want to hear from you because we're definitely the first step to trying to get you back on the right path.
And now we've talked about electric and gas and all these things, but there also are services for assistance with a landline, and I think that's particularly for seniors. Is that right?
Yes.
And Greg, do you want to? Let's throw that one to Greg.
There's the New Jersey Community Lifeline plan, and it's for New Jersey Shares runs one of them for Verizon, and it allows customers, limited income customers or income eligible customers to get either a landline or broadband, which is internet access that they can actually do. So they actually run that. The phone number for that is 888-337-3339. So customers can call and apply for that.
And so you mentioned NJ Shares that they partially run that landline program, but what else does NJ Shares do?
Well, A few other things. So one of the things is they have an energy assistance program for natural gas and electric customers, where customers can get up to $700 for their electric or $700 for their gas. Only if they need that much.
Right, exactly.
All right. And it's actually a moderate income program similar to the PAGE program that Nicole spoke about. And it actually is for anybody $1 over the low income programs.
Oh, okay.
Up to 400% of the federal poverty level, but that equates to a two-family household could get up to $70,000 and still be eligible for that.
That could be their income, and they would still wear.
And it's gross income, not net, so
Right.
people get confused with that.
Yeah.
They also, NJ Shares has a water programs. They're dealing with Suez Water and New Jersey American Water right now to help people with their water bills, and they are currently working with a couple cities and towns to that have municipal water to start those programs. So we're looking forward to having that program a part of them too.
And so besides their phone number, how else can someone get in touch with NJ Shares? I assume their website.
Yeah, there's a website, njshares.org, and it has all the programs and how to donate to those programs too. So
That's also good to know.
they also are handling the Atlantic City Electric Helping Hands program, which helps obviously Atlantic City Electric customers with funding too.
So that was a program specifically created for those in Atlantic City that might be having economic trouble during the casino issues and everything.
Yeah, but it's their whole territory. It's not just
all of Atlantic County.
All of Atlantic City Electric customers.
Oh, okay. So not just Atlantic City.
Right.
Yeah. Good to know. And so I understand that NJ Shares also has some presence in the community besides the website and the phone number, that they also usually have information at various community organizations and even legislators' offices, where if constituents show up and say, I have trouble, they have information there for them, right?
Absolutely. There's over 350 different locations a customer can get information and apply for NJ Shares throughout the state. So hopefully it's not too far from anybody who actually needs to get that assistance that they can get that application. They can also get it online too and fill it out and send it in that way.
It's great. I mean, this is I think the goal of your work group, right, is getting the word out about all these things and the outreach. So the more places where there's information available and the more ways we can connect people to programs, the more likely they're not going to have a break in their service, right?
Absolutely, yep.
Yeah. Which is exactly what we want. And so, we've talked a lot about electric and gas and even water companies. But I understand that there are also some weatherization programs that are available to people that might help them as well. Can you explain what that is?
Yes. Well, the first one is the Comfort Partners program. It's a New Jersey BPU Clean Energy Office runs it, but it's really managed by the utilities. So it's basically your natural gas, your electric utility coming in and doing energy education for the customer, which is most important because a lot of people just don't understand it, don't think about it, and doing an audit, which is basically looking at their house or their apartment, finding out where the energy is leaving. So you don't want your heat going out in the winter. You don't want your heat coming in the summer. Right. So the idea is to seal up your house as best possible. So, they do air sealing, they do the education, and they do health and safety checks, which is very important for a lot of these customers that are income eligible for these programs because they really don't have the opportunity to take care of the equipment as they would like to be able to. So the health checks. But some of the measures that can be done is, like I said, air sealing, insulation, actually refrigerator replacement. If you have an old refrigerator, they replace the refrigerator because it's a big user of electricity. And sometimes it's appliance replacement, meaning your hot water heater or your furnace if it's unsafe. Okay. Yeah. So, and many other measures, everybody talks about sealing around the windows and doors and stuff like that. Those are all important things because, again, we want the heated or cooled air to stay where we want it.
Right. So there's a couple of purposes here to the weatherization. One, obviously, is that energy saving, so it helps reduce the bill if you, like you said, that you're not having that escaping of hot or cold air from your house. But I'm really interested in this health and safety aspect as well, to make sure that there's nothing happening in the home that could be harmful to the people living there. Can you give us a little bit more example of some of the cases?
Well, one of the first things they do when they do the audit is actually do a health and safety check throughout the house. So they're checking for gas leaks, if there's a natural gas leak in the piping. They're checking the appliances operation, make sure the flue gases are going to the proper places outside the house. Make sure that there is the proper levels of CO are not coming into the house, and just the operation of the appliance itself. Make sure it ignites properly, burns properly, it does all the things for the natural gas appliances.
And so that's all this audit where they come out and do that's all part of the Comfort Partners. And how do people find out about that?
Well, there's two ways. You can go on the website, and it's under the residential section, and there's a Comfort Partners thing, or you can call the 1-800-915-8309 for information about that.
Great. And as I said, I think it's a really useful thing that's not just there for energy savings purposes, but also for the health and safety of the people living in these homes where there might be concerns about.
And anybody who has actually is approved for the LIHEAP or the USF program that Nicole spoke about is automatically approved for the Comfort Partners program.
Okay, and are they notified of that in some?
Well, we try to advertise. That's why we're here. But we try to advertise it, as much as possible. But we do outreach to those customers too. So each utility actually provides the Comfort Partners group the information about LIHEAP and USF customers, and they actually call them. One of the big problems with that is if I were to call you and say, "Hey, I have this free program that costs you nothing, and I'm going to do all this stuff for you." It's kind of hard to believe. But the idea is...
I'd probably hang up on you.
Well, but it'd be fine for you to hang up on us, but just go to the website and see that it's true, and then call back in. We have, believe it or not, sometimes have difficulty in certain areas of the state where customers just will not participate who really need it the most. And that's really what we're trying to do, help the customers who need it the most.
Yeah, again, just getting that word out and making sure people are aware of those things.
Right.
So I think you also mentioned to me earlier that there have been some changes that have expanded the access to weatherization programs. Is that
Yes. The other program, which is very similar to the Comfort Partners program, is the WAP program, Weatherization Assistance Program. It's administered through the state, and the DCA runs it. It's very similar. They have a little bit different on income eligibility, but we just recently had the president of the Board of Public Utility and the lieutenant governor sign an MOU that allows the two groups to work together on the special cases where one could not do the work because of either a health and safety limit or a health and safety that they can't help to do. Instead of deferring the customer who needs it the most, now we're going to be working together as a team to try to help those customers that need it the most.
Yeah, well, that makes the most sense, right? When I think you've learned already from your example that partnerships to get the word out is a great idea, and so I'm glad to hear that there have been some expansions of that, and so that more people can participate in that weatherization, which can be so helpful for folks. So Nicole, as we talk about these programs and we talk about the needs of the people in the community, what do you see as some of the most urgent needs from the participants that you're trying to help?
I think some of the most urgent needs is education, just educate. And I think that's why all the utilities are so big on outreach. We go out to the communities, we see the customers, we educate, we have all these programs, literature on our tables, we have the Comfort Partners literature on our tables, we even have the applications if we need to assist them to fill it out. So it's all about education, then it's all about communication. You have to communicate with us. We'll communicate with you. I know at South Jersey Gas, we put a lot of our outreach events on our website. We use Facebook, which is a great tool. You use all the outreach things that we can, whether we have to go on, we have used LinkedIn. So people go on LinkedIn, because if you're looking for a job, you go on LinkedIn, and we have outreach events on there. And I think all the utilities, us working together. So I have come across some customers where we're at an outreach event, and they're not a South Jersey Gas customer. They may be PSE&G. I'm still going to help you fill out the application, because that's the whole key. It's just helping the customers get the help that they need.
I think that, again, is a really valuable thing that you're all doing to work together towards that. And it's nice to know, as we said at the top of the show, that people shouldn't be afraid to reach out to you as their utility and think, oh, they don't care if I can't pay my bill, because you really are.
Yes, you do care.
Yeah, you do care. You do care, and you are there to help. We've talked a little bit about the specific needs of seniors, but obviously, there are needs with the seniors and disabled community that might be different than others in terms of making making sure that their heat and electric are working, because they might have equipment that runs off of that and those sort of things. So I'm sure that there's additional outreach and concern about those members of the community as well, right?
Yes, and we partner with a lot of senior centers and seniors. And then there is also another program out there called Lifeline, which is designed for seniors. And seniors that are eligible for LIHEAP or USF are eligible for the Lifeline. And Lifeline not only helps you with the utilities, it also helps you with your prescription medication and things like that.
So we're linking people to multiple things at the same time so that they can get assistance with. Because if you're having trouble paying one thing, chances are you might also be having trouble paying some of your other bills. And
normally a domino effect.
Right. Exactly. And so obviously the more connections and the more that you're aware of other community resources to share with those individuals as they get in contact with you, or if the senior center knows to get them in touch for those things, is also a great way to make sure that people are getting connected to programs and services, for sure. I mentioned seniors specifically, and we did talk a little bit about landlines, and I joked about hanging up on you if you called to offer me free weatherization programming. But we do tell seniors to be careful about who they give private and personal information to. But they are a population that is increasingly, well, not increasingly, but continuing to rely more on landlines than, say, a cell phone or something. And so that's the reason that that program is so important, right?
Yes, and for them to have a way of communicating, because they may not be able to afford a cell phone or a landline. So this helps them with that.
Right, and so the landline is there not only for emergency purposes, but also that that access to the community, and to be able to still pick up a phone call, even though most of us are moving away from, from having those services in our homes, right? Well, this has been really interesting to talk to both of you about the utility assistance that's available, and in particular, as I've mentioned, how the utility companies are coming together to make sure that this information is getting out to the public, and really concerned about your customers and their health and safety. So
can I make a challenge to everybody who watches your show?
Yes, please do.
Can they please tell 2 friends and have them tell 2 friends, or if they're at some sort of event, bring up the idea of energy assistance and communicate it, so we can really get the word out and have them reach out to the utilities. And there's people that need the assistance that aren't getting it, and we're trying to find those people and get them the help they need.
Well, I think that's a terrific challenge, and we will definitely ask our viewers to do that, and to tell a friend, tell 2 friends, tell whoever will listen.
Right.
So thank you both, not only for your time, but also for your concern and for your efforts in trying to get more people connected to services.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank all of you for sharing your time with us today. Aging Insights is produced by the New Jersey Foundation for Aging and is made possible by donations to the foundation. To become a sponsor for Aging Insights programs, please go to our website at www.njfoundationforaging.org, or call us in the office at 609-421-0206. Our previous shows may be viewed on our website. We'd also like to remind you that you can find out about senior services in your area by contacting your county office on aging. Their numbers can also be found on our website, or you can call the state hotline at 1-877-222-3737. Thank you for watching this episode of Aging Insights, and remember, aging is everyone's business, and tell a friend about energy assistance.